Hey fragrance friends, welcome to another video from Proverbs 27:9 Fragrances. John here, and today we're going to be doing a first impression, and we'll go ahead and do the full review of a fragrance from the house of Parfums de Marly, and it is Kalan. If you would, go ahead and hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You got notifications on. That way you're notified every time we upload that sweet smelling, savory, fragrance related content. All right, so I got this one from a new friend of mine, Tyler, over at Simply Fragrances, and he had put in his video that he would like to have some Givenchy Gentleman fragrances, that he had smelled them, but he didn't own them. I happened to own them, but didn't really care for them, so we wound up doing a 2-for-1 trade. And I had never smelled this one, but I thought, well, let's be a good video to do, and I'd heard some good things about it, so we'll go ahead and do this. So looking at the presentation first, I had never owned a full presentation from a Parfums de Marly. I really have a hard time saying that. From Parfums de Marly, I have owned samples of Herod and samples of Layton. I think that's it. I have smelled one other. I'm trying to think what was the other one I had smelled. Godolphin. And so just off the top, I'm not super impressed with their presentation. It's just a designer style cardboard box. And I'm, you know me, I'm not usually, very hard on the presentation, the packaging. But when you're talking about a $250 fragrance, then yeah, I do expect the extras. And this is just a cheap cardboard box, although it does have some nice, embossing. The horses are, very detailed. You can see the muscles and all that. So it is at least done in a well-made manner. You've got the top of the cap kind of been stamped and embossed on the top. You got your batch code, barcode on the bottom, just a little silver border on the sides, and then house information on the back. My batch code or lot number is 926902. All right, so out of 5, I would just give the packaging a 3. It's nice. If this was a designer, I would give it a higher mark, but not being a designer, can't give it as high of a mark. You got a little card that you get in here. Probably just got some house information here. Yep, looks like in French, English, and Arabic. Okay. Here, got a little stamped Parfums de Marly logo. And then you got a little extra tab, so I guess that's them going the extra mile there. Let's pull it out and start smelling the most important part, and that is the juice. All right, now their bottles are lovely. This has a matte red finish, very beautiful. I don't know that I've ever heard anybody complain about this, but the horses, when you're looking at them on the website, it looks fine, but when you get it in real life, it just kind of looks like they just, spray painted the whole bottle and I don't know, I think I would have liked some extra touches on the horses and maybe the shield, maybe even the name, maybe do that all in silver. But again, that's just me complaining because I don't like to spend a lot of money on fragrances. Got the nice cap there, and the cap clicks into place, and it is heavy. All right, let's give it a spray. I'm expecting a really good atomizer. And it is. It's good distribution. Not going to waste a lot of sprays here on this one, and really don't need to, because this is I can already tell without even putting it up next to my nose, this is a very good projector and smells good in the air. Let's give it a whiff. All right, so right off the top, the things that I kind of thought would stick out are not sticking out as much. I know when this fragrance was released, with it being red and everything, everybody said, well, this is their version of BR 540 by Francis Kirchhoff. And off the very first initial blast, I'm not getting that. Woods, spices, citrus. Smells like orange. I believe it was maybe a blood orange, and that was the reasoning behind the red marketing here with the blood. Seems like there's probably some, I think it said orange blossom, so I think everything was kind of centered around the orange top. But it's not a really heavy, bright, citrusy top. I really get a lot of the spices and a lot of the woods, off the first. So it's still, I don't know how far we're into after I sprayed it, a minute in, good, or so. It's not near as sweet as I thought it would be, with everybody saying it's kind of a Baccarat Rouge inspired fragrance. Baccarat Rouge is really sweet. As it's drying down, it is sweetening up some. I'm not real big on sweet, really sweet fragrances, but I was told that this sweetens up as it goes on. So we'll pause the video here. We'll come back in a couple of hours. We'll let it dry down and give our rest of our review and final thoughts on it. See you in a few. Okay, we're about 10 minutes in now, and I wanted to just come back and say that this has sweetened up quite a bit. Around the 5-minute mark, that sweetness started, coming out and surpassing the woods and the spices. The spices have subdued somewhat, and there is a candy floss style sweetness that has appeared in a prominent way. So I do get the passing resemblance to BR 540, and I do think that's what they were going for. I would say that at this point it is definitely an inspired by fragrance, but I would not say that it is a clone. But we're going to pause it again, come back at about the 2-hour mark, and give our final thoughts. All right, friends, back again. It's been about 2 hours. So let me go over some information on Kalan, and we'll give our final thoughts. Kalan was a 2019 release, and it is described as an amber spicy fragrance. And I think that's a good description of this fragrance. So the top notes are spices, blood orange, and black pepper. And I think that's a good order too, because typically you get the citruses first, but in this one you really don't. I mean, they're there, but they're less prominent than the spices. Middle notes are lavender and orange blossom, and it's a really nice, mild lavender, floral kind of mid. It's beautiful, but it remains masculine. This never ventures into, it's unisex. I definitely think women could wear this fragrance, but it's not a fragrance that I would smell and say, oh, that's a lady's fragrance. That's too feminine for me. Wherein Baccarat Rouge 540, I do feel is a little too feminine for me to wear, my taste. Base notes are woody notes, moss, tonka, white sandalwood, and amber. And so when you first spray it, again, it's very spicy, very woody. There is a moderate amount of that blood orange citrus on the top that just kind of gives it just enough to smell, fresh and clean, vibrant. But it starts to dry down around that 5-minute mark. It becomes a lot more sweet, not overly sweet, not nearly as sweet as BR 540, but it is a candy floss style sweetness. At first I was thinking, is this a little bubble gummy? And then I was like, no, it smells kind of like candy floss. And that hangs around for a pretty good while, the sweet candy floss fragrance. And so I do think this is a BR 540 inspired fragrance, but I don't think by any means it's a clone of BR 540. It's more masculine to my nose, more woody, more spicy. There's just different nuances that makes it similar, but definitely different. This between the two, for me to wear, I think BR 540 might smell better, but I would want my wife to wear that. Again, that's my preference. I know there's a lot of men that wear BR 540, and on them they say that it doesn't smell feminine at all, or maybe they like a softer, more sweet fragrance. It's just not my taste. Okay, so that's all I'm saying about it. It's when it dries down, it's a very smooth, creamy sandalwood and amber fragrance. When you initially spray it, you've got good projection. There's a good scent trail. The sillage is nice. It doesn't perform as what I would like these expensive fragrances to do. Now, again, I'm at the 2-hour mark. I figure it's going to last all day. My hand is still shiny. I don't know if you can see that or not. I sprayed it on both. I had the top on. You can't really see it. But anyways, it's still there. I can still see it. It's probably going to last all day as a skin scent. And then also, I would say I can waft it in the air and still smell it. So I think the performance is going to be okay. It's not beast mode by any stretch of imagination, although if you did spray heavy, and I'm a typical heavy sprayer, if I put anything on, it's getting 7 sprays. No, I don't care what it is. When I wear Sauvage Elixir, you're getting around 7 sprays. If it's something, it's lighter, I'm a 10 to 12 spray guy. So you think, man, I don't want to sit next to you at the movie theater. Well, probably not. But if you spray this one enough, it will do for you what you're wanting it to do. It's a nice fragrance. I like it. It's about as sweet of a fragrance as I could wear, but I think I will be able to wear this one. And again, it smells really good. High quality, you're not gonna, you get what you pay for, and I do understand that. And so if you're paying a high price for a fragrance, you do want it to smell good, high quality. It's, I guess, is this an extrait or is it let's see. It's a eau de parfum. And it's going to last all day long. I imagine. If it doesn't, I'll come back and edit it in. But if I don't get at least, 6 to 8 hours of, being able to smell it, I'll come back and say something about that. But so Kalan, I like it. I think it's a good alternative to BR 540. Again, I do not believe it's a clone of it. Although Parfums de Marly is not above making a clone fragrance. I mean, Godolphin is a clone fragrance in my mind. So, and other, niche houses have done the same thing. Creed has made clone fragrances, they're, just blanked out of my mind, but that they made a clone of Mont Blanc Individuel. I think it was original Santal maybe. And all fragrance houses are subject to doing that. Mont Blanc definitely does it. They make clones of a lot of fragrances. So, but that's a designer brand. Parfums de Marly is a niche brand, but niche brands do it too. Okay, so lay off of the Middle Eastern guys, all right, Armaf and Al Haramain, and lay off those guys. They've got some great fragrances, and don't just think that that's all trash. Anyways, I really like this one. Special thank you to Tyler at Simply Fragrances for making the swap. And I know me and him is probably going to be doing some more trading. And let me know what you think about this fragrance, about what you think about how it smells in relation to BR540, about what you think is maybe the best Parfums de Marly fragrance. I would not put this in at the top from what I've smelled. I think I do like Herod and Leighton both a little bit more, but this one is really close. I mean, and I've not smelled everything from the line, so I'm excited to maybe get into smelling some more of their fragrances. All right, again, like, subscribe. Till we see you down the road, we say God bless, praying that you have an awesome day. Frag on, Frag fam.